I am cooking dinner again, and this time I have all of these ingredients, and what I would like to make is a chicken vegetable soup with one of these thawed out now chicken breasts, and then another dish, if I have the energy, with one of these chicken breasts. I'd like to make some chicken and broccoli Alfredo with pasta. So right now, let's get started with the chicken vegetable soup. We're going to use potatoes, we got some red onions, celery, yellow squash, zucchini squash, carrots, and this is a little piece of cabbage that I had left over from my cabbage stir-fry dish that I made before. It looks a little old. I'm going to peel back the layers, and if it's all messed up all the way through, then I won't have cabbage, but if I can salvage that, then I'll go ahead and use that. And I'm going to use my kitchen shears to cut up the chicken. It's a lot easier to cut it up in like 1-inch pieces. And then my favorite knife, my favorite Cuisinart, I forgot what this was called again, the name of it. I used to, Santuri, I think. It's a Santuri knife. I love that thing. And it's very sharp, and it makes cutting vegetables really nice. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how quickly I cut up my chicken using these shears, which is why I like using them so much. It just makes it easy to cut, even easier than using a knife. I don't know why. I like the knife for the vegetables, but for this chicken, it just makes it so easy. Look at that. And then I always go down, and then cutting it this way makes the chicken really tender because you're cutting through all of the fibers, the fibers inside this breast that make it so tough when you cook it. So then I just do like that. And that concludes the chicken. Okay, let's get to cutting. Okay, we are ready to start cooking. Let me just wash this cabbage off real quick. Alright, let's get started. Let's get it in the pan. We're going to start off with some olive oil to help these vegetables start cooking. And that pan is really hot. I can tell by how dark the copper color is. So it's ready to receive the vegetables, which are, oh, let me just show you. I have everything lined. There's the cabbage. This is what we're going to put in first. We're going to cook, actually we should cook that chicken first. Let's just throw that pan was getting hot. Go ahead and put chicken in there as well. And mix all this up and let it cook. It's still here. Wipe that up. There we go. I don't want to make too much of a mess. I don't like to make a mess when I cook. I hope I'm not moving you guys around too much. Alright, so we're going to start off with, this time we're going to add an herb, the garlic and herb seasoning that I got from Dedaletre. And of course, you know I love my garlic from Dedaletre. I'm going to put that in there. And we got the pan on high. Fire's on high. This is my power burner, so I'm getting a lot of heat real fast because I want this to cook real fast. And I want that chicken to absorb the flavor of these wonderful vegetables I have. The celery and the onions. I had some shallots, but I didn't opt to use those. We're going to add in some of my garlic pepper salt. And I always use my no salt seasoning. This one's almost gone anyway. There's not much left. Again, I like a well seasoned dish, and you'll get to know that I love garlic. So we're always going to add garlic on top of garlic. And I don't even, with that garlic powder, I just slosh that in there. Because I've just got to have the flavor that it provides. Now, let me, even though I like freshly ground pepper, I'm going to go, I hope this is open. Okay, I got my pepper in there, and this chicken is almost done. You see how quickly this can cook? You see how quickly things cook when you cut them up in smaller pieces, because there's more surface area for the heat to penetrate, so food cooks faster when you cut it in smaller portions versus larger portions and big thick portions where the heat has to penetrate to get to it to cook it. So as you can see, this chicken is pretty much done. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take half of this meat out because I wanted to use half of this meat to make a pasta dish also. So let me pause for the cause and do that. Okay, I took out half of that chicken. So I have the carrots and the potatoes. I messed up with the potatoes. I should have put them in separately because they take longer to cook than the squash. So hopefully the squash doesn't get too soggy, but I still have the zucchini one. But that was my mistake. I should have separated the zucchini and the potato, the yellow squash and the potato. I tried to separate a little right here and put them in with the zucchini, but I just said squash it. No pun intended. So we're going to let these cook down a little on high. The The cabbage goes in last because cabbage takes the least amount of time. Normally I put the cabbage and the zucchini or the squash in last. So I'll be back once this cooks down, and I'm going to see how many of these potatoes I can get out of this. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and add this cabbage. And the zucchini. Let that mix down a little. Wasn't that much this time, so I was able to do it on camera, even though I know I got y'all moving all over the place. Okay, so let's get some of this stock in here, because that down to allow this to start soupifying. Now I say soup, but you know, no soup has this much stuff in it, but I like my soupy type dishes to be more stewy, I guess. I guess I should call this more of a stew than a soup, because it's just got way too much stuff in it to be considered a soup. But when I eat stuff like this, I do like the broth, but I like not just the broth. I need some substance in my soup. I'm not a big liquidy soup eater, so I guess this is more of a stew if I were to correct myself. Now I'm going to add the zucchini and those potatoes that 2 pieces. You don't want to waste anything. Okay, so let's get everything in here. Now this is going to cook down, of course. I can go ahead and use the rest of this. So that's empty. So now all we want to do is let this cook down. Now I thought the last time I did this I put in a tomato, but I don't think I have a tomato, because that would make it look really pretty. You know, presentation and visuals are also important in cooking, and the red coloring of the tomato would really make this dish pop even further. I'm going to see if I actually have a tomato in there. If I do, I only have one at best. But we're going to let this cook down. I'm going to go check for a tomato, and then we'll come back when it's done. Last one is not going to make a dent in there, but it will provide a little bit of color, so I guess I better chop it up as small as I can. Alright, I added the tomato in there. It didn't make too much of a difference because it's not enough, but I'm going to let this do a slow simmer. I've got it on low. Here's my lowest setting, but I got it on like, what is that, about 4? So we're going to let that simmer for, I guess, about 15 minutes, and then we'll see how it fares after 15 minutes. It might need another 5, and then she'll be done. Okay, this dish is done. I just tasted a potato, and it was buttery, creamy, soft. So I know the potatoes are done, everything else is done, and I don't like my vegetables too soggy or too overcooked. So this is going to conclude this video. Now, this is something that I like to eat for lunch, especially during the week when I'm working. I want something quick and hearty to heat up, because I'm going to plate this up or put this away in portions. So I put them away in about 1 cup portions for however many it makes, and then I just eat on them during the week for lunch, for dinner, whatever. But it's a nice, healthy, you know, get your vegetables in there, not too much meat. I'm not vegetarian or anything, but if I can get as many vegetables in myself as possible, then that's always a good thing. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Cabbage stew, I guess that's what I would call it. Vegetable chicken, I don't know, cabbage chicken vegetable stew. It's definitely not a soup though, so I just want to correct that, but it looks good. So I'm going to plate me up a bowl so I can eat some and go to bed happy. And there you have it. That looks good, doesn't it? I'm waiting for it to cool down. And I got a fork and a spoon because it's a stew soup. It's a stoop. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Trying to prepare some healthy dishes where food can be stretched so you don't have to run back and forth to the grocery store as much, and you don't have to cook as much if you make enough to carry you throughout the week. So if you like this video, give it a like, thumbs up. What else? Leave me a comment and let me know that you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye bye.